All right. So here is a small announcement that I have changed the name from dark chocolate to the email show because I have sold dark chocolate newsletter, but that's why I have also discarded the name with it. And the current name is the email show. From now onwards, you will be hearing that the email show. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for being here with me. It's really, really amazing to have you, and you're the best audience. Thank you so much. Enjoy the podcast. Hey, this is Anirban here. I am here with another episode of the email show. Today I have Valeria. Valeria,
Hi
before
everyone. Yeah. Hi Anirban. Happy to be here.
Awesome. So Valeria is a CRM marketing manager with over 6 years of experience in B2B, B2C, and SaaS. Also, she started as a CRM strategist and slowly transitioned to being in all-in-one CRM marketing manager with extensive hands-on experience. Also, I am so lucky to have her because she has worked in Marketo, Salesforce, Twilio, and HubSpot, like these big companies in the market. Also, she has extensive expertise in customer relationship management, email marketing, and complex automation. Today, in this podcast, we will be focusing more on the email aspect because that's her strength. Also, she brings experience from the tech giant TikTok, Semrush, and Osome. So welcome again, Valeria.
Yeah. Hi. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here. So, yeah, a little bit about me. My name is Valeria. I come from a strategic background. So, yeah, I started as a strategy in a CRM and retention focused agency, and worked with small brands, but also a big projects from pharmaceutical sphere and medical side as well. And there, I'm mostly focused on coming up with a pre-sale strategy and then implementing the strategy that suited the client, whether it's like increasing conversion to X number or just rolling out basic communication plan. Yeah, and then from being a strategist on several projects at once in the agency, I decided to go to a more, let's say, technical background and gain analytical skills. And I had my master's in analytics at that time, and I switched my focus and joined Semrush. So yeah, I had a blast there, working there. I worked there for 2 years. Was a part of a team of 5, and then as soon as I was ready to go further, after being a part of Semrush and working in Marketo, I joined a fintech startup where I was all-in-one specialist, as you mentioned before. Then I had a brief short experience in TikTok Shop working on email marketing strategy for acquisition mainly. And yeah, now I'm here and working as CRM marketing manager for Hustle, for a fitness benefits platform. And besides all of that, I'm obviously ambassador for CRM Collective. It's a community of professionals in LinkedIn. We try to connect professionals between each other, help each other, and we are, besides being a community where we try to talk out things, but we also a resource hub. So yeah, that's my side hustle.
Awesome. And would you be interested to share about how you actually uh, came to Britain from Russia and how did you start your career?
Sure. So, my bachelor unexpectedly is not in marketing. I was Oriental Studies student, and my region that I was majored in was China and Chinese language, Chinese culture. At that time, I was being a part of ISEC, if you know it, big organization, nonprofit, mainly focused on international exchanges. So that was the first experience in marketing that I had, but it was mostly online plus a little bit of digital. And I knew that I wanted try to work there in the sphere. And I as soon as I graduated from my bachelor, I joined an agency. At that time, I had no idea what CRM was. I knew what email marketing was and how to work with it, at least on some level. But yeah, I had no idea how to work with retention strategies and what is the word customer marketing relationship, or customer relationship management or customer relationship marketing. So that was the first, let's say, alma mater for me, the agency that taught me everything and how to work with different conversions, how to make a proper research and have a deep dive. So everything I learned there. And then that was mostly like Moscow based projects. And then after that, Semrush was, let's say, the first step to working in international environment. As you know, the company at that time, it was just before COVID when I joined. It was already international with, I think, 5 had offices in US at that time. So yeah, that was my first international experience. A pretty extensive, judging by the company size and also the number of my teammates in the team. Because normally, I guess in small companies at least, you don't have that many of email marketing specialists or like email automation specialists in your team. In our case, it was team leader plus 5 people. So yeah, that's a lot. And also separate team for like content creation, and then design team for design assets. So that I was lucky to have that, and also work with different product teams, gain very first experience working cross functionally in English, and also like thinking about other markets, because the focus of our team, as the whole Semrush focus at that time, was US market, and also like gradually like US, and then Europe, and then Latam. So yeah, that was my first experience working with those 3 big markets at the same time, and supporting product team with different needs, like when it comes to localization. And then when the war has started, and a lot of companies left the city and the country overall, me and my team also moved, like it was March 2022. And then I joined another, I was about to join another startup anyway. So yeah, I finished my experience in Semrush and joined fintech startup. We worked remotely for quite a long time, at least our marketing team. But operations, speaking about operations, we had markets in Singapore, Hong Kong, and the UK. So yeah, I've been with the company for 6 months, and then they kindly offered me a relocation into the UK. And at that time, I was living in Istanbul for about 5 months, and yeah, right from there, I moved to the UK, being a part of international startup with the focus on, as I said before, on the UK, Singapore, and Hong Kong as main operations. And then, like locally speaking, I continue to live here and work here. I was a part of TikTok Shop of the UK team, and then yeah, as I said, hustle uh, at the moment.
So, what's one mistake you made early on in your email marketing career, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, that's really, really good question. So I think I can speak about the one example that we had when we worked with the segmentation, and it was not the biggest mistake. I think being working in CRM for only 6 years, it feels like I haven't had my biggest mistake. Yeah, I just like had bits and pieces where you tweaked a subject line in the wrong way so that it hadn't reached the target audience in the way that you expected them to, or let's say you put too many assets in your email and it basically didn't convert, but your goal was to sort of make the security blanket for your customer and give as much as possible. But that was the mistake. So yeah, speaking about like strategic level mistakes, I think when you're trying to push more and give more in your email content, let's say, but it's basically does the opposite. It converts less because people are focusing on too many people or too many things at once in your layout, for example, and you lose their attention. So yeah, I think that's like not the biggest mistake, but one of the great learnings that I had when it comes to, let's say, email layouts.
What trends are you most excited about in email marketing right now?
I think, yeah, it's mostly connected with the whole CRM as well, and not only email marketing. But what I really like that companies do on big level is implementing some of the models for fact checking of your automation that you just set up. For example, in HubSpot, they do this suggestions on how to simplify your flow if you did the automation in certain way, and sometimes those hints can really help if the person, for example, is not familiar with a new tool, let's say HubSpot, and they previously were working in a small tool or any other similar like big CRM whales, let's say as Salesforce, for example. It can be really useful as on onboarding level and also on fact checking level. So I'm really excited to see how these features, obviously AI based, are rolled out by those companies. So yeah, let's see how the automation will evolve in a year or maybe in 2 years. I guess it will become more and more clean, as I say.
Mhm. So, as you have talked that you have worked in Hustle and you have already worked with newsletters specifically, also you have been in the email marketing industry and CRM and automation. So, what are your top three tips for increasing email open rates?
Yeah, really good question. I guess it totally depends on what you the project that you work on, but generally speaking, it's always about the research. So if you do the research right, and I mean, you will go into customer shoes, you will go through the whole flow and see what your customer sees, what he receives. Is it logically connected to the purpose that this customer has with the content that he receives, and then you're basically trying to guess what's better working for this specific touch point, and you try to not only say it in the email, but you also try to reflect it inside the subject line as well. So I think it's really important to put the main message together with um, basically the main idea into subject line and pre-header as a main go-to things to influence your open rate. But then it's like on a insight level. But the major focus to increase your open rate is obviously to hit the right people. Focus on your target audience, and if there's a room for smooth and very detailed segmentation, then yeah, obviously go for it. And you will see that you, like decreasing the number of people in each cohort, obviously will expectedly increase your open rate, because you um, split them into different groups. You made the personalized, like right to the point, right to the cohort message in your subject line and the pre-header, and you can um, expect that the open rate could be higher, not 100% true, but you can test and play around with it and see how different audience reacts to it. One of the examples for this case that you asked is how I work with the industry segmentation in TikTok Shop, and not only there, where basic segmentation as industry split can help you to reach out to a have a better reach out. For example, you put for fashion industry segment, you put just words like apparel, fashion, and like different different variations like clothing or something like this, and you make it unique and try to um, have this feeling, to create this feeling for the customer that he receives something exclusive as well and super relevant for the product that, for example, they're selling, or depending on the again on what on the project, like if it's B2C or B2B. But if it's B2B and there is a room for for going for an industry, you can try to base your segmentation on it, but also try to reflect in the subject line the same thing.
Hmm. As you know, the heart of email marketing is email copywriting, right? So, what is your take on it? Like, how can we master the art of email copywriting?
For me personally, AI has been a huge help with playing with playing with different copies. When you want to A/B test something, and then um, you have a lot of data to analyze before you create the layout and before you come up with the idea. So what I can do when I start a new project or create a new automation where I need to have a new content for this specific audience, I would try to collect all the insights about the segments that I have. And then if I have some assets, let's say like already written articles on the blog or something like insights from sales, again, speaking about B2B here, then I would uh, try to like look at it from my side, but then consult with ChatGPT what better to include in the copy to make it like, depending on the goal, like to make it punchy, for example, or to make it like less sales like, or in some cases to make it more sales like. And like compiling all the insights that you have, ChatGPT in this case, or like any other AI copywriting tool that you use, can help you to basically to filter some of your ideas that you want to test beforehand. And if also the copywriting tool that you use is specializing in the industry, or your model that you're using is already learning on some um, content that is similar to your product that you are working on. I mean, the company that you work with, like a freelance basis or full time. And if the model already knows the canva of the business, then yeah, it's easier for it to filter your ideas. So for me, it's been a huge help, and it just saves a lot of time. But the creativity level and the way how you structure your prompt is also on your side. Of course, it's like it's not doing the whole work for you. It's just it makes it easier and faster.
Mm. So, how do you approach the segmentation and personalization in your email campaigns?
Yeah, as I talked before in one of the examples, for let's say how I work with TikTok Shop in the industry level. At first, I do the research and try to understand what is the current target audience, and whether it's shifted from the times that, let's say, a year ago, or we have a new pricing model, or basically anything that can affect our target audience and the way how it behaves. You collect all the insights before you come up with a segmentation model. If it makes sense to go to analytics department and ask for let's say behavioral data on the website, or um, to event like action events that you can base your product triggers on, or any other email triggers on, also a room for discussion there. But if it's not action based, or mainly for newsletter, for example, or like standalone emails or automation for some of the cohorts, I would approach it in two ways. I would go through the flow, analyzing the whole flow and target each touch point when it comes to automation, supporting automation throughout the flow, like nurture flow or onboarding flow, and then upsell and further down the funnel. And if it makes sense to segment them, let's say by different pricing packages, then I would go for it. So it's like it's the flow plus the insights of your business, comparing to basing your assumption on specific product that your company has. That's one thing when it comes to automation. If it's standalone, then yeah, again, I try to first go by major parameters that can help me to make like an easy personalization, like industry based, location based. Makes sense a lot. A lot of that makes sense mostly for B2B. Yeah, I'm working in B2B sphere for last like 4 or 5 years. So yeah, I'm not sure how B2C is working currently. So, um, but then any other insights like inside your email strategy, like email retention, email engagement inside the channel, it's like a granular segmentation that goes further, and it can help you to I guess push some of the cohorts to make an action but it's not universal when it comes to email engagement. It's good to have like higher open rate and higher click rate, and then have like cohort of super active people and target only them, but it doesn't work all the time like this.
Mhm. There are so many newsletters like 1440, Morning Brew. This kind of newsletter actually ruling this overall newsletter business, right? And as we know that 2025 is a newsletter year because there are a whole lot of people who are actually moving to newsletter business, right? Yeah, like I can talk about Sahil Bloom, the live notes of Ali Abdal, Justin Wells, Saturday Solopreneur. These newsletters actually way too good and they are making a lot of money, right? I mean, I break checking one podcast from Sahil Bloom with the founder of Kit, and there he said that for one tiny ad, Sahil Bloom took $4,000, right? So that means the potential of newsletter is immense, right? What do you think, or what is your take on newsletter business in 25, or how a brand or a solopreneur should go about it or approach it?
Hmm. Yeah, really good question. So let's say from our CRM collective side, we also have a newsletter, and it's definitely a competitive advantage when it comes to either it's a community on LinkedIn of professionals who are trying to um, become a proper business and not just a community, for example, or whether it's a solo entrepreneur. Newsletter is the way of showcasing different angles of your business, or if it's based on one personality of like one person, different angles of your personality as well, besides showcasing your uh, successful projects and the insights that you collected. But also it's a room to share some reflections that you had that week, or off top content that you feel like fits your personal brand, but it's too much to post about this on LinkedIn because you have, let's say, a certain way of storytelling that you have there, like, or tone of voice. But in the newsletter, yeah, it can be it can has it can have different blocks inside. Something that I really like from CRM Sphere, there are there's a Tom who I unfortunately forgot his surname. So he has the retention newsletter, which I really, really like. And the way how they structure it, they have some topic for the week that they have like, and they publish it by episodes, like podcast, for example, but they just call it the episode. And it has some universal theme throughout the newsletter. They share the project, for example, that they worked with, and some part that is related to retention or any other thing. And then they also put some relevant news on the topic, or some resources that they feel like you should check out, and also the articles that they published on the website. So it's all around like one topic, and but it's the main thing of this newsletter is already like retention. So yeah, it's super theme based. So I don't know, yeah, how it should be when it comes to like personal brand, but also a professional value.
Got. So, what tools or softwares have you used in email marketing?
Mm, like general, all of the all
Yeah,
of the softwares that I used.
yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to small ESPs, I used in my early career Mailchimp, Klaviyo for some small freelance projects. But then, yeah, my main platforms that I roll out a lot of automations at was first Marketo, and then also Mindbox, the tool that we had back in Moscow, which was quite good. And also they do this amazing custom features for you if the business requires it. Then of course Salesforce and Pardot currently. Marketo, as I said, while I was in Semrush. HubSpot while I was in fintech startup, so also for about 2 years. And when it comes to analytics, I used Tableau extensively, Data Studio a little bit, also while working in Semrush, and Looker. Yeah.
Hmm. So, where do you see the future of email marketing?
So as I work in CRM and I consider email marketing a part of CRM because it's one of the most powerful tool that CRM has, and also if we compare the cost of the channel, is relatively cheap, but you obviously pay for the software. Um, so I guess overall, being a part of CRM marketing, it still is a very, very powerful tool for B2B at least. For B2C, I think it will remain one of the channels that brings that contributes to retention. Not sure about how it will look like, what it will look like in terms of acquisition, and how people like will react to those, let's say, I don't know, clothing newsletters, for example, in like 5 years, and how it will look like. But judging by 6 years ago, nothing much has changed overall. I mean, the email looks like it was before. It was just now we have MP emails, which is really cool. And something that I see and really, really want to use, but it will be in the future, is interactive emails, but not just like basic MP, but maybe you've seen some amazing examples with um, activations, for example, for some campaigns, what you can do, how you can, for example, clothing, how you can compare different stuff, and it feels like a video, but then it's super interactive. It's like a game inside your email. So I want to believe that we will have more and more examples like this and accessible technology. But when it comes to segmentation and personalization, yeah, I think it will continue to evolve, and we'll see some amazing examples how it's going to be used. Like this year, for example, I guess I am a part of some database, and because my contacts are used pretty extensively, people learned, I mean, email marketers learned how to reach out to LinkedIn contacts and then try to target them, people who change their career, and try to sell them some different different businesses try to sell them different services depending on what the company you shifted to does, and like using your recent employment, like saying, hey, you were recently employed, blah blah blah, probably it's pretty hard for you, like doing, let's say, this side of the business, or like this side of your functions, and we can help. So yeah, I see a lot of this, which I haven't seen before, and how I guess the usage of data from third-party data side evolved, and how cold reach out um, really became super targeted and personalized. And at least from my side, I am considering some of the offers that have been sent out to me. So it's definitely becoming more and more smart, as I say, on the segmentation side.
Yeah. All right. So, last question for you. Like, for newcomers in email marketing, what's one piece of advice you would give to help them stand out?
Stand out. Yeah, I would say do a proper research what other professionals say on your LinkedIn, on the LinkedIn profile and the feed. Um, Follow greatest creators that you consider greatest creators in your sphere. See what they do, but not to try to copy it, but showcase some angle that haven't been spotlighted before. And also, of course, add your personal tone of voice, because you will definitely, attract your people. Yeah, you will definitely attract your audience, because more and more people definitely like joining newsletters and LinkedIn, and they're trying to find unique content as well. As for me, for example, I see a lot of things super generic, I will unsubscribe, and then I will continue to search for something unique, something authentic. And yeah, people will see it if you really, really try.
Before we wrap up, do you have anything to offer to the audience? Like if you are building any course, cohort, or anything, if you want to promote, I mean, if you want to promote or if you want to offer to the audience.
Yeah. So as I said, I'm a part of CRM Collective. So I'm ambassador of CRM Collective community in the UK. So what we do right now, we're still online community. Um, that connect people across different places. We have, I think, already like 50 countries joined. People from 50 countries joined in our Slack channel. What we do, we're not trying to sell anything. You just join, and if you have any question, you go to the thread where people discuss the problems at work and how to, let's say, I don't know, tackle a problem with the segment or with the subject line or anything. And then we are the second half, we are a resource hub for professionals. So we try to find interesting topic, write articles about it. Then I personally run live discussions inside the community. So yeah, welcome to join and participate in our live discussions. And we have more and more content scheduled in upcoming months. So really happy to see everyone subscribe to our LinkedIn. It's CRM Collective, and we have our Slack channel. So everything is what is published and is unique and like accessible to everyone. It's all on Slack.
Awesome. So just send the links to me. I just put
Yeah.
it in the description. And thanks for
Okay.
coming today. It was nice to have you here, and it was really great because you have so much experience. You have worked with literally giants of these industries. So thank you so much for coming today and giving your precious time. Have a good time.
Thank you. Yeah, you're so kind. I'm not, but yeah, so kind. Happy to be here, and yeah, just